Okay. And how beneficial was it for you in terms of your career? Like, did it change when you were, I'm not sure if you were applying for jobs or you were applying for projects at the time after you got selected and got the experience, but did it make any difference for you?
Absolutely, absolutely. There was a specific lesson that we had on basically you had to, what's the word? You had to paint or describe what your customer looks like,
Sure.
or, what your client looks like.
Sure.
And I remember they said, describe it to the T. Like, my target market is Yvonne Shabangu, a lady who is, from her mid-20s, early 30s. She works in Sandton, drives a Toyota Taz. No. Like how they explain it on the insurance. Like,
Sure.
this is Yvonne Shabangu. She drives a Toyota Taz and she can get cover for 300 rand.
Yeah.
Literally had to describe that person to the T. And that actually helped me realize that who's your target market.
Okay.
And then I was able to package my services in a way that it would appeal to the people that I'm trying to target. Then there was another lesson as well on public speaking and networking.
Sure.
And really that elevated the nature in which, or rather the structure in which I tell stories.
Sure.
Make them relatable by speaking about either yourself saying, my parents divorced when I was young, and that's the reason why I studied law, because I wanted to understand how to empower women, because my mom was on the back foot during, her divorce proceedings many years ago. Or you can say, I have a client, you don't say the name, but I have a client who, her husband passed away and the husband didn't have a will, blah, 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 blah. So telling stories in a way that shocks people at first, but then they are engaged and now you have their attention. And then at the end of that conversation, people must be inspired to take action.
Okay.
So those were some of the things that I learned. Apart from that, it's a really great network to have. It's a great name to have under your belt. Being affiliated, I've had people reach out to me for collaborations, just from being part of that alumni network.
Okay, that's great. So did you guys have to do it virtually because of
Don't
COVID-19?
take me back to that pain.
Because then it brings me to my
I
question.
did Washington from my study.
Wow. Okay, by the way, now if you apply for YALI, you actually go to Europe. So you guys should consider.
Oh, is it now?
Yes.
Okay, I thought it was Washington still.
Okay, overseas, let me say.
Oh. I love that. I love that overseas.
Overseas, guys.
I was going to say, okay, maybe I must apply again.
Yeah,
okay.
But yeah, you actually do go overseas compared to
but
how it was.
That's how it was before, right? The only reason it became virtual was because of COVID. It was always you going to Washington.
Yes. So now it brings me to my question. How did COVID-19 shift your career path or your business model?
Sure, it actually helped, because I then realized that I am stronger online than I am in any other form of marketing.
Okay.
Right? It helped me to move a lot of my business to online. Unfortunately, I've sort of now gone back to a place that requires me to sort of be on the road often, which is, for me, is not beneficial. I really make more money from just sitting behind my laptop all day and just bringing in all those consultations online. So for me, it really did help. It helped in also, I gave up on the idea of finding office space again, because when I started, I used to have office space. So I managed to then get rid of that expense, because I realized that, okay, I can just do everything from my study. And later, when things progressed and we were able to go outside again, then I started meeting clients at coffee shops. And then there was no longer an expectation of a client wanting to meet you at an office, because...
Okay, yeah. All right. So would you say a person who wanted to start their own thing, something similar to sister-in-law, would you say admission is necessary, or it's something that they can say after getting their LLB degree and just... start, not just sister-in-law, but also your IP company as well?
I think the most important thing is to be open to, the fact that even though you may have a big plan for your life, things don't always work out as you envisioned. Okay. So sometimes it's easy to just go with the flow until you're at a season in your life where you're able to appreciate what to make of the flow and how to start building in accordance or in the same direction as that flow, right? Okay. I don't want to say definitely chase for admission. for me personally, it was that goal that I wanted. And there was really just something about taking a picture in front of that board that just said, girl, now you know what you're doing. You know what you're
Okay.
talking about. And this is just that stamp of approval. For me, it was that stamp of approval that was important. But there are a lot of people who have built careers just from having an LLB degree. They don't even end up using that law degree. Sometimes they just become actresses or actors, or sometimes they become journalists.
Yeah.
There's so much that you can do with, your LLB degree, because at the end of the day, it's just a matter of showing that you're able and competent to read and understand English and put your message across. You can really almost go into anything.
Okay. So what do you think can be done to close off the gap between high school, university, and then the workplace? Because I feel like there's a very big disconnect, and that's why we end up doing careers that we're not sure of, or careers that don't pay us, or careers just for vibe. Because you know how culture says you're not good enough if you're not a medical doctor, you're not an accountant, you're not a lawyer. But now as things progress, we realize how careers have become modern. We've got influencers that are actually doing way better financially than lawyers, than doctors, and all of that. So what do you think can be done to close that gap?
I think platforms like this,
Okay.
this kind of podcast, the kind of work that I do, all of these conversations that we have on a consistent basis, creating awareness around the options that exist, and also just telling the truth about our experiences and
Sure.
enlightening people on what to expect when they get to the workplace, what to expect when they get to varsity.
Sure.
I think it really does bridge the gap a bit, because people are no longer going into these things blindly. They're going in with a little bit of information, and they're able to make, empowered, or rather informed decisions
Sure.
on what they want to study. So like I said the other day, and like I'll say again, conversations like these are obviously the birthplace of action. And
Yes.
when you listen to conversations, you're able to act in a way that empowers you and really just allows you to put your best foot forward.
Okay. So basically, there's only so much that people can do for you. You also need to put yourself out there. Be in
Absolutely.
conversation,
Be
whether on social.
intentional.
Yeah.
Be intentional.
I think I'd just like to share like a snippet, right? I remember one of the people that I really love a lot. And I think with you, it's similar as well, whereby I knew that I wanted to associate or be affiliated with this type of brand. I was so intentional in engaging in the content put out there and stuff. And eventually you realize that people see you and people now want to help you do better and all of that. So yeah, I think it is imperative to actually put yourself out there and access to information, because
And honestly, it really just takes one person. When
Sure.
I was featured in the True Love magazine in 2018, it was a little corner, not a 2-page spread. It was a little corner, but it was because one person, being the editor, saw the sister-in-law page, and it had 35 followers at the time. I'll never forget. So
Sure.
you don't even need this big platform for the right person to get your information and to propel you to the next level.
Sure.
Right? You just need to put something out there, because you never know.
Okay. What would you say to a first year LLB student or any person that is searching for a job?
Yo, keep searching. Honestly, I think the job seeking process is easily one of the processes that really have the possibility of just breaking your spirit.
Sure.
Right? That thing will break your spirit, but don't give up. Literally, for every 300 cold calls that I did, I probably only got one call back.
Sure.
And I did a lot. I did a lot. I really put out my CV a lot. And really the number of people that got back to me was but a fraction. But don't let it break your spirit.
Sure.
We do know that idle hands also perform, the devil's work. So really be intentional about how you are using your season of waiting. Right?
Sure.
You don't have to wait in despair. Really try to do something, even if it really means you're good at baking scones, and for that season you will bake scones and sell them and just put yourself out there. You don't know what is waiting for you on the other side. So keep at it.
Okay, that's great. Love it. And then in closing, what would you say, or how would you define your journey, your career journey to this day in a sentence?
Oh, a sentence. Yo, I'd already started putting together a word because I was like, yo. But actually, just in a word, it's been remarkable. Remarkable is my word.
It sums it up. So everything happened in good time, the bad, the good. It was all
Yeah,
for.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I don't actually think remarkable necessarily means great,
Okay.
right? It really just means that all the bits and pieces have come together for my good.
Okay. I really enjoyed this conversation and I learned a lot. And I think one of my biggest takeaways from this is that whatever you do, when you get a no, it's not actually always a no or a denial, but it's get back at it, do better. You might just come back stronger and don't stop.
Don't
Honor
stop. Yeah,
seasons for what they are.
absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming here. And I'm sure everybody else at home learned something. And guys, do like, okay, I'm not going to extend this invitation because you guys will bother her a lot. But anyway, if you've got questions, you're welcome to send them to the Employment Wednesdays DM on the Instagram. And then I'll be able to pass them on to her. And then they'll be answered in another episode. Thank you so much.
Thank
Truly
you for
appreciate
having
you.
me, Yvonne.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment and share. Thank you.